I ask the best of Gate 18, please?
What?
Gate 18, sir.
Gate 18, eh? You poor bastard. You really do want to hear a long history. What days those were. You know, these days now I serve with distinction. Yes, distinction. Royal Grenadier Guard. Mostly ceremonial, of course, but we wear polished boots, pose in paintings, look as dashing as an old Quar like me can. In parades. Back then, I wasn't standing all tall with a sash and polished buttons. No, even with my age at the time, I was digging mud out of my ears beside a squad of creaky old bastards, all of us wheezing and limping, and somehow still holding rifles older than most trees. You see, I was a Caernerol in the Coastal Defence Army. Back then, that was what they sent folk to fade away. You see, for generations, the coast was quiet, in the sunny skies, easy drills, no fuss, easy on the bones. But it was when they posted officers they didn't want to fire, but also didn't want to get anywhere near actual decisions. We used to joke it was the world's longest retirement party with uniforms. Then the crusade came, and you wouldn't know it. Marie started landing troops on our cliffs, sending special brands through the coves, even airdropping lunatics onto our beaches. Suddenly we were useful again. Not modern, but we were useful. Then we started to shoot anything that moved too fast. I ended up leading a whole ad hoc force of retirees, real legends, from 100 old campaigns. We'd been shuffled out to pasture, now we're dragging antique kit out of mothballs. I mean, real relics, lad. Bolt-action rifles with brass triggers. Uniforms so old the buttons had monarchs that half of them we'd not recognise. The young'uns certainly wouldn't, little kits and all. When Gate 18 cracked, first breach of the wall in near 1,000 years, we marched. No orders, no summons, just grit and bloody loyalty. We packed our crates, signed our wills, if we hadn't already, and marched. Half the lads had bad knees, 3 of them couldn't hear, one forgot which side we were on. But by Enkidu, we made it. The generals didn't expect us. Some thought we were an reenactment troupe. One crusader tried to surrender to our drummer because he thought we were old ghosts. But we held our post, right flank, east trench. My lads took up position in the shattered sewer lines and collapsed bunkers nearby. We patched gaps with shovel handles and fencing wire. When Rambo ran low, we just threw things, helmets, canteens, insults, that sort of thing. Under my command, they stood. General Minorico against the song verses, rightfully so. It was bloody brilliant. Roared like thunder, cut through lines like a myth. But it wasn't just him, it was us. It was my lads. Dozens of half-forgotten officers in coats with medals rusted through, holding a line that was never meant to last. We were the buffer, you see. The shock absorber. The stubborn bastards buying seconds so the others could move. Let me tell you what 1771 felt like. On the 25th of Gallad, Gate 18 falls, then 16, then 17, then 19. 200 miles of the Great Wall gone. Can you imagine it? Coftyr's back is exposed. Generals are panicking. Capital draws up evacuation orders for the royal family. Civilians flee, and the stalwarts of Fydo leave the other way. The Crime Master? We stayed. We fought. The Mechanical Corps blew out every gear they had. The Air Corps turned into flaming comets one by one. The lads on the line, what was left of us, held with whatever we had left. Not one of us thought we'd live. That's not what we were fighting for. Then came 1772. Gates breached across the front, Crusaders pushed. We've been driven away from our own land. We dig in outside of Crypt, hoping the capital holds. But then... then... the Sith wind got involved. Came early. Worst in generation. Frozen lakes, snapped airstreams, snow in bloody Crest. Crusader supply lines vanish. They dig in, and we finally get to breathe. Just enough to cough, reload, start praying to spring. We survived. Just. The Coastal Defence Army went from joke to crucible. Now it's prime training ground for engineers and defence recruits. The cliffs are lined with reinforced bunkers, artillery rails, and sensor nests, and lads in ceremonial gear like me. Well, we wear our medals in public now. No shame in being old, not anymore. So when you hear them sing about Gate 18, remember it wasn't just one hero. No. It was a battalion of old forgotten fools like me, dragged out of retirement, carrying rusted kit and ancient maps, who still know how to win a damn war, when war used to be civil. And if some academic tells you that it was all a desperate delaying action, you give him my name, Whymbl Flymb, the old Fydo, Caernerol of the second line coastal, and tell him I'll come debate it with my cane and a sack of trundles. Now, be a good sword, young kit. Give me a blanket, my boots, and a mug of something that could stun a rabbit. I'm feeling patriotic, my knees are starting to scream from all this talking.
Yes, sir.